our Chairman Emeritus, Mary Kay.
Well, in case you haven't gotten the idea yet, you're deep in the heart of Texas. Which reminds me of a Texas joke. We have to start things off right, with a good joke. I think an Aggie thought this one up. It seems that a fellow was driving down the highway in his pickup truck, of course, with his cowboy hat, etc. And a policeman pulled him over. And the policeman saw he had a pig on the front seat of his truck. And he said, "What are you doing with that pig in there, for goodness sakes? What is that?" And he said, "Well, I found him. I don't know what to do with him." The policeman said, "I'll tell you what to do with him. Take him to the zoo." Okay. Next day, same pickup, same truck, same guy, same pig, still on the seat. He said, "I thought I told you to take him to the zoo." He said, "Yeah, I did. He liked it so much today we're going to Six Flags." Had to be an Aggie, had to be. As you have no doubt noticed, our theme this year is deep in the heart. Not necessarily of Texas, but deep now in the heart of women around the world. And it reminded me of the premise on which our company was built 31 years ago. Just think, 31 years. And it was just with a prayerful hope of helping the women that I knew here, right here in Dallas. I never thought we'd get to Waxahachie. That's 25 miles down the road. But what I really wanted was to give women a chance to be all they could be. See, in the early 60s, women didn't have that privilege simply because they were in the wrong body. And with all my heart, I wanted to change that. I had met so many women who were talented and beautiful and ambitious and, given the chance, could do anything they wanted to do. So with a heart full of hope and 9 friends, they weren't consultants, they were just people I knew didn't have the heart to say no. But they were our original consultants, and of course, as you know, some of them, I think 3 out of the 9 are still around, particularly Daleen White. She didn't intend to stay, but she's glad she did. She's already earned over $4 million. She's happy about that. And then, add to that, we had 9 whole products. The basic set and 4 other things, that was it. We put it all in a little tiny $4.95 Woolworths case, because I didn't have any wholesale sources. And we launched my dream in 500 square feet of space. That's about 1/3 the size of this stage. Think about that. We just had a little cubby hole. Well, today, 31 years later, we occupy 1.5 million square feet of space. And I know that you've probably heard about the new building that we have out on the toll road. Gorgeous, beautiful, 565,000 square feet of space. And it's going to be beautiful. It's gorgeous. And of course, as you know, we have now grown to 350,000 people in our sales force. 350,000. We have a new little pamphlet, on the figures at a glance that you'll need to get so that you can keep up with how we're progressing. And did you know, of course, we now have 7,000 beautiful directors. 7,000. And of course, you know that in the past 3 years, we have done $1 billion in retail sales each year. And it has put us into the Fortune 500. And we moved up 57 spaces in 1 year. That's phenomenal. We'll soon get to the top of that thing. So, of course, a lot has changed. But what has not changed is our philosophy of doing business by the golden rule. And keeping our personal lives in order, with God first and our family second and our careers third. That hasn't changed, and it won't. I really, truly believe that it is this commitment to these principles that has allowed us to reach the kind of success we've achieved with God's loving arm around us. He's guided us through, and it's made it happen. So thank you from the bottom of a grateful heart for keeping the foundation on which our company was built bright and shiny. Thank you. And today, the privileges that we enjoy are not just deep in the heart of Texas anymore, but now they're deep in the heart of women around the world in 21 countries. We've been having an international luncheon at each seminar with the people who've come from such faraway places as Thailand and Bangkok and Australia and all over, every place. And it's been such fun to meet with them. The other day at one of the luncheons, the Thai people wanted to sing a song to me. And I thought, big deal. Won't understand a word they're saying. They didn't understand a word I was saying either. And so I listened and they went, didn't take me long to find out they were singing, our enthusiasm song. In Thai, think about that. Oh my. And some of the remarkable things that are happening in Russia. How would you like to sell cosmetics in Russia? Well, let me tell you, they are doing it. The first year they sold over $3 million. Wow. The average Russian woman in the corporate world there makes $82 a month. The first three directors in Russia made over $6,000 their first month. Kathy Rasmussen's daughter Julie is head of that operation. She's the president over there. And I'm sure she has to stand, instead of recruiting, she has to stand at the door and say, no more places, sorry. Wouldn't that be a nice change? Wow. But they're doing it. And not only in Russia, but in all these other countries too. They're making a woman's dream come true, where they have been deeply suppressed over all these years. So it makes me feel wonderful to know that this thing that you have invented has now gone around the world, and you're helping women from all over the entire world. I won't be happy till we have every woman in the world in Mary Kay. And yet, while their cultures are so different from ours, but yet their hearts cherish the same priorities that you and I cherish. I believe women everywhere want to be good wives and good mothers, but they want to be recognized for their abilities just like you do. And they want to enjoy a successful career, and that's what we are sharing with them. This seminar year, we now have 79 beautiful national sales directors, and by the time seminar's over, in another day, we will now have added enough that we will have 84 national sales directors. How many of you are striving for that position of national? Wow. You know what NSD stands for? Never Stop Dreaming. You know how many times you've heard somebody say, and this is prevalent in the United States, well, I have to see it before I believe it. You've heard that many, many times. But in Mary Kay, we believe it before we see it. You make it happen. You must have asked, what is it that puts these beautiful women in the enviable position of being among the top 1% of the highest paid women in America? What does it? What sets them apart? Well, I knew them all when they were sitting right where you are today, dreaming of the possibilities. And I found they were just ordinary women with extraordinary determination. And they made it to the top. And I want you to know that it can happen for you, too. Believe it before you see it. Now, you know, we've just celebrated the 4th of July, and my thoughts were stimulated to think of the blessings that we enjoy because America is the land of opportunity. It's a place where you can reach higher, dream bigger, grow greater, and live more freely than any place on the face of the earth. And yet, how wonderful it is that we now have the opportunity to extend these blessings that American women enjoy to women in other countries. It's such a blessing. We extend to them the freedom that we enjoy, the freedom to start our own businesses, their own businesses, and to create opportunities for women who want to know the pride of honestly working for a living. One of the things that Julie said to me when she came, I talked with all the subsidiary presidents when they are new usually, and most of them are men, and they talk about the bottom line. But Julie didn't. She came in and we spent 2 hours talking about, and her eyes were glowing, and she said, what we're going to be able to do for the Russian woman. That's the right attitude. That's it. That's where it starts. And boy, are they doing it. They really are. They appreciate this opportunity. But I want you to know that you can do anything you want to do. Believe it before you see it. You can climb any mountain. The possibilities are absolutely unlimited. I want you to dream your dreams, and I want you to dare to believe. You know, remember that female disease we have? If I can, I hope maybe. See, men at least have enough sense to bluff their way through. But we express that, no, if I can. I want you to get rid of that. I can, I will, I must. Okay, say it with me. I can, I will, I must. Because in America, you can make it, and you can do what every woman wants to do. And the women across the countries where we are now have these principles all planted within them, and they're going to do it too. This legacy is now being translated into countries, and we as Americans reach out our hands in love. God said, if I begin a good work in you, I will complete it. And he will complete it in you. There are such immense possibilities within every one of you just waiting, as I told you a while ago, to bring them into fruition. Dr. Robert Schuller said that any fool can count the seeds in an apple, but only God can count the apples in a seed. Think what you are going to do. Success is a matter of just upping your latest record. Whatever you did last week, try next week to do even better. And don't confuse the person you are now with the person you are going to become. You won't believe it as you change as you go up that ladder. Human beings have a turnaround power built in by God himself. And it happens when you make a decision, a commitment. There's a golden you within you. It hasn't yet come out. There's a story about a Buddhist priest in Bangkok who built a little temple. And he didn't have the money to buy an expensive Buddhist statue, so he took a cement one that somebody gave him. And to get it into the temple, it had to come through the ceiling, so he hired a crane to lift the cement Buddha through the roof. About 3 feet from the ground, it fell and cracked. It was late and darkness was about to fall, and the priest was so distressed and frustrated he just went to bed. You've done that. And that night it rained very hard, and the rain soaked into that crack and expanded it. And the next morning, when he got up for his morning meditations, he saw some light shining through that crack. And he walked up and he saw a glint of gold through the heart of the Buddha. And he ran and got a wrecking bar and he pried the cement loose, and it exposed a golden heart. The cement was only 1 inch thick, and beneath it was a solid gold Buddha. Today it is the largest piece of gold in the whole world. The Buddha was originally made 900 years ago in a little village, and the people of the village had collected all the gold they could find, and when the wars came to protect it, well, they coated it with cement. And later it floated down the river to Bangkok, where it was stayed for 900 years with the secret of its gold locked inside. So I say to you, get out in the rain and get that cement off. Because there's a gold in you waiting to come through. You've watched it happen. You've watched a little new recruit come. Sometimes a little new recruit comes to my office door, and I'll say, tell me who you are, and she goes, boo. You know, she can't even tell me who she is. 6 months of loving devotion and encouragement by her beautiful director, and you know what? She comes back, Mary Kay, may I present? And I think, could that be the same one? It happens all the time. That's what happens when you get the cement off and let that gold in you shine through. So believe it, and you will see it. It happens. Now, how do you go about changing? How do you do that? You may think, how can I change? How can I be like one of those gorgeous women, those blue suits out there? I want you to look at the super successful people in our company and learn from them. Don't listen to the losers. There's always going to be somebody there to tell you that you can't do it. They've been telling us that for 31 years, and we kind of have done it, haven't we? Successful people are not necessarily the most talented people, however. I want you to look wherever you are, up the ladder, and you'll see people who are not as smart as you are. Less talented than you are, let's say. And then you look down the ladder and you see some who are more talented than you are. And on awards night, you're going to notice that a lot of the top winners didn't come from Los Angeles or New York or Chicago or big cities, but they come from little bitty towns you never even heard of before. I think Cheryl Steinman is a good example of that. She's headed our list of winners for years, and she comes from Pigeon, Michigan, population 900. Think of that. Now, what's your excuse again? So, wonderful things are happening to us as a company and to you as individuals. And whatever you wish, whatever you dream, whatever you hope for, whatever you plan, it's yours if you will only believe. There's a beautiful little poem called Climb Till Your Dream Comes True. Often your tasks will be many and more than you think you can do. And often that road will be rugged and the hills insurmountable too. But always remember, the hills ahead are never as steep as they seem. And with faith in your heart, start upward and climb till you reach your dream. For nothing in life is worthy, is ever hard to achieve if you have the courage to try and the faith to believe. Our faith is a mover of mountains. There's nothing God cannot do. So start out today with faith in your heart and climb till your dream comes true. And to help you remember that you are deep in my heart all the time, today you're going to be receiving a lovely little heart pen. And I want you to be sure to open it because, like the Golden Buddha, there's a surprise inside. I love you. Thank you.